This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back. I'm not going to speak for her, but I'm going to imagine that this is one of her favorite times of year. And not just because there's a Christmas tree in her background right now, but because she's written some wonderful books dealing with the holidays. We're going to revisit those and maybe journey into areas we haven't explored yet. And this is all because she is a professional author and storyteller. I know no one like her. And she rides on the historical side of storytelling. So even some of the Christmas stories have some factual little tidbits in them. She's our professional of the year. Carolyn Marshall Stearns back with us. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Other than the gray, rainy day, it's a happy season. And so best wishes to everybody during the holiday season.
For sure. For sure. And the books that I'm referring to, and I'm trying to remember if you have two. I know one in particular, Christmas Spirits. That's one, right?
Christmas Spirits is the short story, the backstory of Clement Clark Moore that wrote "'Twas the Night Before Christmas."
Yep. And is there another one? Is it Christmas
There's
Letters?
Christmas Letters, and that's a full-length novel.
Hmm. They're both amazing, as are all your work. Christmas Letters is so unique. I think we should revisit it because we talked about it maybe like 6 weeks ago. Wasn't holidays weren't really on our minds, but this is very different, this book.
This book evokes everything in "I'll Be Home for Christmas," the old carol, and "White Christmas's" opening scenes of soldiers in a faraway battlefield, because a lot of families experience separation at Christmas, and it's most poignant then, or if a new baby is coming and they're separated. Those are hard separations. Those are real sacrifices our military make, for our country. And I wanted to honor that
Hmm.
and to also look at what families go through on the home front because they make big sacrifices too. So this is a very family-oriented story of the strength of a family unit and a community to support one another in hard times. And through a wonderful Christmas evoking, the smell of cookies in the house, the fresh baked bread, families gathering for a meal together, harvesting a Christmas tree. All of those things that we hold dear as traditions come out in the book, but all strung along this angst of, is my loved one okay? When will we hear from them next? And it's mutual because the one who's serving far away worries as well for the one at home. And the love that is in letters, whether they're now or 100 years ago, as in the book, that box of 1917 letters
Mm.
found, and the feelings being the same, but a current young woman able to take strength from someone else's journey.
I believe, if I remember correctly, that the inspiration for this with the letters doesn't that go back to letters that you had?
I have a group of my grandfather's letters home from World War One, to his 7 to 9 year old son. He was gone 2 years and left his little boy with family. The little boy's mother had already passed away from some event, and so he's with grandma and an aunt and an uncle for that 2 years. That was the first power flicker for this storm. Let's hope it behaves. Um, so yeah, those letters certainly inform me, and that is a future nonfiction book for me, is publishing his lovely letters home from the war to his little boy. A look at World War One we haven't seen really, and what you tell children about that event.
Yeah, I just got a flash in my mind, and maybe this could be inspiration for others. I'm going to write a letter to my kids.
Yes. letters last. We can't be sure these emails, we know the text messages don't. You get a new phone and clean house, nothing. They say, oh, it'll transfer, but there's no guarantees. And
Mm.
we've lost that connection. I research through letters a lot. I find that's absolutely the best way to get to know someone is to read their actual words, their actual thoughts.
There is something to be said there. And I'd like to process that for a moment because when it's a handwritten letter, you know that time and intention went into it. When you're typing, you can go really fast. Many can. Or you're on to the next thing. When you physically have to grab a pen or something to write with and paper, you're taking the time, even if it's an extra per word millisecond. There's intention set in there. And that connection, and it's scientifically proven from the mind to the hand, is real. So it's truly coming out of you. Not to say typing, on a keyboard is not the same, but it's not the same.
Well,
It's similar, but not the same.
and the speed, often people respond in a flick, and they may not have said that if they had taken a longer time to contemplate the effect of those words. And we
100%.
see that over and over in social media that people are harsh and maybe not the intent for it to come across that way, but it doesn't have enough content to smooth its rough edges.
I try to pilot by this in the last number of years. If you're going to reply to something or even send something initially, whether it's an email or text, put it through the three filter. Is it kind? Is it necessary? Oh, I lost it now. Is it kind? And is it true? Like, do you need to send it? You have to filter it. And if it
Yeah,
doesn't pass all three, don't do it.
that's
You know?
right. Those are great meters to measure our content and our intent because, we don't want to hurt people, but sometimes our words are just taken out of context or the
Yeah.
punctuation isn't there quite often in text messages. So it can be read with a little different influence.
When you write, Carolyn, do you physically write?
Quite often, I have done a pen and ink copy in a good old fashioned composition notebook. And then the first edit is taking it to the screen. Others I've done on the computer, but then I print copy because I don't see mistakes on a computer screen. And the computer checking systems, they don't speak agriculture
Mm.
and they don't
Mm.
always understand. And then they go through my advanced readers and my proofreaders, and I often refer to things. And the funny one that got caught in this next book I'm writing is the term we use so often in the country. I'm going to walk there, but I'm going to go cross lots. And my
Mhm.
reader had no idea what I meant by that. Well, I'm not going to walk on the road around the outside fringes of a farm if I can go across the lot. So walking cross lots to a friend's house or something, you're literally crossing fields. And I had to go back and rewrite those sentences to describe what walking cross lots was because I use it as such common usage, and any of my farm friends would know exactly what I meant
Mm.
and I didn't realize it wasn't. And so it's a good thing to have these advanced readers checking that kind of
Yeah,
thing that I
yeah,
miss.
yeah. I've never heard that term, but when you just said it, I had a picture of it, and I'm assuming what it is, but I'm not 100% sure what it is.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's very much a
And
farm thing, I guess.
well, also you have regional language.
Right.
I don't know about you, but soda to me is soda. It's not pop. You
Yeah.
know,
You go a little further north and you get pop. New Hampshire's a pop and a frap state, and we're a milkshake and soda place.
frap. Like frappuccino.
Like FRAPPE. They have a frap. If you order a milkshake, you get chocolate milk.
I'll never do that.
It's New Hampshire.
Wow. Well, I guess it depends on the story because maybe that language, that lingo might fit the story and make it more authentic. Tell us about the book you're working on. Give us a little
The,
more.
the book I'm working on is titled Core, and its cover will have an apple core. I'm actually going to New York tomorrow. No, actually, my artist in New York is meeting me on the Massachusetts border to pick up the artwork for the cover.
Oh, wow.
And it's an apple core with four seeds representing the four young people generationally in this story. It's about generational transition in family business. And my example is an apple orchard and a dairy, fictional, from here in Connecticut. And passing on a family business, whatever it is, whether it's a plumber or a nail salon or any other business, is fraught with issues. Who gets it? Who doesn't get it? How do they feel about getting it? What's it worth? What's the real value? And who wants to do the work? And what changes? Change is one thing a lot of generations are afraid of. Um, it's always worked this way. We've always done it this way. You can imagine those elder voices with, don't fix it. It's not broken. But young people have new ideas. They live in a different world. And so they may take it in a different direction.
Well, I think we all pilot on that. Many of us don't like change, and doing some research on this, talking to therapists, psychiatrists, doing podcasts on the topic, it all comes from fear, and
Mhm.
that's why we're here, because we want to stay safe, but sometimes that holds us back from doing things that we really want to do. Um, why the name Core? Why'd you pick that again?
Because of the essence of a family and family business, you get to the
Okay,
core issue.
gotcha. And
Get it
interesting, the Apple tie-in.
right. It's an apple tie-in to the orchard, and the grandparents feeling not making a plan doesn't stir up anything. And so at the dairy farm in the story, there's a crisis and a loss of the farmer. And in an orchard, that's not such a crisis thing. The trees will still be standing there. But at a dairy farm, those cows have to be milked in a few hours, and you better have a plan B real fast.
Mm.
And so Crisis launches the storyline of now what happens and how, and people re-examining, well, what are we doing to save ourselves in a crisis?
And also, it's a family business. There are lots of challenges with that, lots of dynamics. I know a business coach. He coaches business, just family businesses, because there's so much going on there.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? Some may not pull their weight, others may feel entitled, and on and on and on and on and on. How far into this book are you?
Oh, it's almost ready.
Oh,
I,
wow.
I need the cover art. I need to do a little bit of the back and front matter. Then it bounces back to my editor for him to have a once over again. And then the book designer, she'll get it print ready and add all the chapter headings and so forth and margins, all the needed tidying up.
Yeah.
So we're quite ready. I had thought about launching at apple season because that would be kind of nice at orchards to do, but I wasn't ready.
Hmm.
And its book is close to home, even though it's not my family. It's a hundreds of families I've heard of and known. It's anytime you pass a road that's the name of a farm, something farm road, or a family name, they farmed there and they're gone because it's all been built up.
Wow.
And so there's so many of them. Pretty much every town's got one.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. As
Right
soon
up
as
the
you're
road
saying
here,
it.
Davis Road,
Yeah.
Davis Farm.
Yeah. And there was a, where I grew up, you're in Connecticut, I'm New York, Long Island. Excuse me. Davis Peach Farm was there forever, ever. Now it's condos. So yeah, but there's some things that allude to it, and then there's other roads too, like Blank Farm Road. Oh, that came for a reason.
Yeah,
I'm intrigued. Now you're meeting your artist to physically pick up the art for the cover.
right.
Why not have her send it digitally?
Well, I'm purchasing the art and then I will hold the rights to it to use it how needed. I'm supporting her as a young artist, independent, you know, I also have some other art coming from her for other reasons. And so I want to use small artists
Mhm.
because artists supporting artists is really important, and supporting any local or small business is so important to me.
I
So
love it. I think that's fantastic. I wasn't judging. I was thinking inside, well, how cool. Like you write physically and then the art is real. It's not AI generated. Oh my gosh. I'm so there's such a place for AI. Fantastic, great. But if you even look on social now, everybody's got AI created videos, pictures, everything. It's like, stop, people, stop. Like we know
yeah,
it's not
it's a new
real.
toy,
It's
but
a
I'm
new
not
toy.
interested in going down that path at
No,
all.
no.
It's just taking work away from someone like my artist, Sarah Brander, who does a lot of specialty work with animals. She does a lot
Oh,
of horse, dog, cat portraits, pet portraits. She does
yep.
beautiful work. And so I want to continue to support those kind of artists that have a talent and are trying to make a go with it.
And not to go woo here, but it's my belief, and others feel the same, that everything we do has a certain energy we put into it, and the energy resonates with others. Why are some songs popular and others not? Why are some Renaissance artists? You can name them in a second. You know who it is. Man, there's millions of them. What happened to the other ones? So if you were to AI generate that cover, it's not going to have the human energy imprint where it came from someone, you put your energetic vibration into it. Now you are through another artist, you directed that artist and it's real.
Yeah.
It's really real.
And the
Um,
book designer will just come in and choose a font. And of
sure.
course, I have approval on that and put the name, and the inside will have our thank you to the artist for her work.
Cool.
And so
Mm,
we want to make sure everybody's getting credit where credit's due. And she can use her design techniques to make that cover
sure.
look perfect.
So we have an email from the last time we got together, instant feedback, Steve at gmail.com. This one is from Marcy in Fairfax, Virginia. She says, thank you very much for your talk. I started writing a nonfiction book and sometimes find myself feeling empty for inspiration. How do you stay motivated when you're writing?
So I think for a lot of writers, motivation comes and goes, depending on how busy our lives are. And I haven't done any fresh writing in quite a while, and that's okay. I have stuff stewing up here. When I'm ready, I'll sit down and it'll pour out.
Mm,
Um, I think you need to go places and see things. And if that nonfiction book is in a place that she can visit, the inspiration may be in walking that path or viewing. If it was about art, you go view some art. Go where the subject matter is or something similar, and then see if you can't find that. When I can't visit a place myself, I love Google Street View
mm.
as a way to go in the path of a story and have a look. We got some serious power flicker. I hope it's not affecting the
No,
content
I
here.
would have even known. Mm,
It so yeah, I think that you just got to get out there, get away from your writing devices and just go and take pictures and walk and soak up the scenes of that storyline as best you can. And if you can't, then you have to go online and seek the photos of those places.
mm.
And that resource is awesome for a writer if you're in a faraway book that you can go look up that castle. What's that river look like? What's a map showing where it runs? Get that feeling of it in you.
I enjoy doing that if I'm going to go somewhere and looking at the street view and just kind of seeing everything around. That's really cool. It's got to be almost like a little treasure for you when you're writing something, and let's say you want to make a reference to Ireland. I don't know, maybe there's a reason for it. And going on there and then kind of going through the streets and feeling like you're there without having to be there. It's got to be so much fun,
It
especially when you
is.
get
I
take
use
that.
it a lot with storytelling because
Mm,
when I am storytelling, it's an oral performance. There is no book, no reading. I need a movie playing in my head that I'm telling you.
Mm.
And that's my memory cue. And each version, each performance may be just a tiny bit different. Uh, but I want to build a resonance so that people see the place in their mind's eye as well. And so I do a lot of that kind of vicarious travel and looking so that when I describe places, it comes real. Now, I did my short story, Christmas Spirits, backstory of Clement Clark Moore,
Hmm.
and I did it all with Google Street View. After I'd been performing it a while, people kept asking for a print copy. So I made that available over on my Amazon store and had it illustrated by another local artist who did a wonderful job. But then I went and visited all the places in New York City that were connected to him and in Newport, Rhode Island. Well, come to find out, when I performed that last week for a Poets Society in Guilford, Connecticut, it's a 1 hour performance. And one of the places we visit is General Theological Seminary in Chelsea, down in Manhattan. That was Clement Clark Moore's apple orchard. He donated the land for the seminary to be built on.
Wow.
And lo and behold, someone in my audience used to live across the street from the gates into the seminary. And she said, "Oh, you got it perfectly. No better compliment than I was able to take her home to that place she used to live and she could see it."
So with that, the story involving Emmett, I know you told me that you've been to New York and you saw all the areas where he existed. I kind of knew you were going to say Street View as well. I just knew it. It's almost as if you wanted to double check and maybe there's a street you didn't go down and also I would have to imagine it gets you into the frame of mind when you're
It
there
does.
on Street View.
And as an intimidation factor, I can count on my hand how many times I've been to New York. I wanted to know when I came up out of a subway which way to turn. I think it would be so incredibly easy for me to be lost in New York. So I looked at the subway openings on every street that I was going to stop at so that I knew where I was all the time and
I
how to
got
get
you.
back to where I was going.
Why not? And it used to drive me crazy back in the day when people used to use GPS. And before it was perfected, it's much, much better now. But people would just pilot by that. I'm like, I would print out a map with that just to double check to make sure, I want to at least know if I need to go north that I am going north. At the very least, with that. But I've even, let's say I'm going to a store and it's an hour away or a venue or whatever it is. I'll Google Earth it Street View just to take a look at what it looks like. So when I'm getting close to it, I know I'm there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just you like to
Yeah,
know.
I do the same thing. And I know not to trust GPS because where one of the highway splits here in Connecticut and you want to take 91 south towards New York City, it tells you to take the exit for North YC.
Whoa.
It's got a ways to go.
There was a story recently. I can't remember where it was, but a man was following um, directions on GPS and wound up in a river. Now you
Yep.
got to double check it. It's not perfect.
Yeah.
Um, final question, when you're thinking of a story, a chapter, and you're going to write something, not tell a story, but you're writing something, do you see it in your head before? And if you do, does it feel like it's already been done? You just need to do it, as in writing it.
Quite often, if I leave off writing and I'm going to come back to it tomorrow or later,
Mhm.
I'm working the scene in my head, especially if I'm struggling with a scene. It's getting worked on up in my head. And quite often they let the old saying, sleep on it. I
Yes.
will wake up with a fix because my mind has had time to reorder the files and put things where it were and call up from memory other things. And I will get up and say, "Oh, I know exactly what that has to do." It sometimes will wake me in the night. I do keep a pad. I can get up and scrawl a couple of notes for fear I won't remember in the morning.
Mm.
But often those fixes are there. So a lot of times it's best just to walk away and come back to it, and there it is. Or I will draw it, even
Mm,
stick figures,
well,
draw the scene, and then like, well, what else would be in that scene?
there's much truth in that phrase, sleep on it. It's your brain is working while you're sleeping, and if you set the intention before you go to bed, more times than not, you can get the answer during sleeping. You may wake up like you just said, or first thing in the morning. It's real. We always think, let me sleep on it. It's almost as if somebody says that because they're just buying some time. They don't want to give you an answer, but it's a way to process things.
But
Uh,
they haven't found a way to tactfully give you an answer if they think it's going to be negative. And that can come to them that way too. That's what we're missing in social media a lot, is taking that breath and that time to reorder our thoughts to a kinder, gentler process of saying no, no way.
is it kind? Is it true? Is it necessary?
Right.
Your books are fantastic. Great for the holidays. Available on Amazon, correct?
Right, right. Under
Okay.
Carolyn Stearns. There is another author with my name and who writes lovely books as well. But look for Christmas letters or How Far is Safe, and then you'll know you're on the correct author's page.
Or go to your website because there's a link there for
There is.
books, CDs, downloads, story products. What's your website again?
Carolyn Stearns Storyteller.com.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for being here today and all the insight. Love what you do. And I'm not sure if we're getting together next week, so I'm going to say happy holidays to you and your family.
And happy holidays to you. And yeah, let's hope the weather's gentle and the food is good.
There you go. That's all you need.
Yeah,
And a good book by the fire, I might add.
a good book. Christmas Eve. I think that's a Norway tradition that Christmas Eve is a gifting of books and time to read and sip cocoa and family time. I think that's a great tradition.
I really feel that reading is back. And I just saw a post talking about social media of a place on the east end of Long Island, and like 45 minutes from where I am. And there's a brewery that does books and brew. And there was a picture of got to be at least 20 people holding up their books. Here's the mind blow for me. All different ages, all different ages. I think books are coming back, and not just digital or audible, physically read books.
I
Uh,
love them.
yeah, and for that, I thank you. We'll talk soon, okay?
All right.
Appreciate it.
Take care.
Thanks. You too.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.